Hello all, welcome to the Knife Edge UK YouTube channel. I'm getting back into the swing of reviews now, so while I'm sat here at the little review station, I thought I would review a knife that's been in my pocket pretty consistently ever since I got it. It's been used quite a lot, although it's not picking up much for patina yet, but we'll come back to that. This is the GEC, or Great Eastern Cutlery, number 14 pattern. And it's a pattern that I absolutely love. This particular one was done in conjunction with Mike Latham at Collector Knives and Slipjoint Collectors UK Facebook group, which is a great group. You should go and join that. People who run it are fantastic, and Darren and co, and they're really good, and they're doing lots of interesting things at the moment with other groups, and there's a forum being set up, and there's loads of stuff. It's a lovely drama-free sort of place to talk about knives, particularly slipjoints, obviously. They did this as the kind of yearly group knife, and it was a numbered edition. This one's number 28. It's classic GEC, classic traditional construction. It's pinned. This one, or this run, there was loads and loads and loads of different cover options that were released while they were doing the 14 patterns, which is how GEC normally operate. They run one particular pattern and do loads of different variants of it, loads of little special factory orders for various different retailers and that kind of thing. It ends up being a gotta catch 'em all kind of thing for some collectors, unfortunately, because it gets pretty crazy. But this one was done in red saw cut bone. It's got bolsters. It's got a bolster and an end cap, as you can see. Beautiful dyed red colour. 1095 clip point blade in a gorgeous clip point profile. I love these long swedge clip points. I just think don't get much better than a long swedge clip point on a traditional. Forgive me, I'm just going to wipe off all the fingerprints that I keep on putting on this knife. But it's lovely. The thing that I like most about the 14 is how incredibly small it is, and I particularly like it in this package with the clip point blade, because there's a lot of blade there, and it's in a very, very, very small handle. But if you use the kick as well, you can still get a 4-finger grip. So just how small is it? Okay, well, let's put a few knives next to it and see if we can get some sort of an idea. Unfortunately, this is the only real traditional style knife that I have at the moment, so I'm going to put it next to some slightly more modern knives. Firstly, a couple of other slip joints. So that is the Impinda by Chris Reeve. This has got a slightly over 3-inch long blade, a 3-inch or so cutting edge. As you can see, it absolutely dwarfs the little 14 here. The Satin Birdie, which is his take on the Jared Osser native pattern. As you can see, absolutely dwarfs the 14 as well. And I mean, that'll probably do as size comparisons. I mean, I can put a gratuitous large Sebenza next to it just because I love the Sebenza, just to give you an idea of how dainty this knife is. It's very small. The blade length, excuse me, is at only a hair over 2¼ inches. Handle length just over 3 inches, just under 3 inches, I should say. It's a dainty little knife, and it fits very well in a very small pocket slip. And or you could just throw it in your pocket as is if you're not bothered about the patina, or you're not carrying other things in that pocket that you're concerned about doing any damage. It's so small and so innocuous that I almost think that this is as people-friendly, non-knife people-friendly as a Victorinox penknife would be, Swiss Army knife. It's, when you get something like this out, not only does it have the advantage of being, kind of like Grandad's knife, it's an old-fashioned looking knife. I think in the wooden cover materials, probably even more so. And it's so small that if you get this out to open a parcel, or open a sandwich, or whatever you need to use it for, cut a piece of cheesecake, whatever you want to do, I don't think anyone's really going to have too much of a problem with this. You might get the obligatory person's like, oh, you carry a knife, just because they're afraid of the world. But by and large, it's not going to upset many people, I don't think, and in the UK, it's uncontroversially legal. So that is one of the things that I love about it. It's very much a very small, big knife, and the fact that it's still very capable. It's typically GEC ground, it's very thin behind the edge, it slices beautifully, it's got their nice satin finish. These were also released in Northfield spec, I should say. Incidentally, there was a Northwoods in this run at Harrison Bay, I believe it was called, that had a spear point blade. I find the blade a little little on the ugly side personally, but that's obviously a matter of taste, and I'm rambling. So it's just a lovely, lovely small little knife. In terms of how GEC are doing with their fit and finish, obviously everyone loves GEC. I mean, if you like slip joints, even if you collect, nice, custom pieces, and you have some really high-end bits and pieces, or indeed you like big, beautifully made knives like the large Spencer. I say big, it's not big in reality, but it's big compared to this. In fairness, almost everything's big compared to this. They're always really, really nicely made within the very traditional style that they produce. The bolster and cap transitions on this one are very clean. There's a slight catch on there maybe, but it's not uncomfortable, it's still smooth. Liners are beautifully flush to the cover material. Back spring is nice and flush. This isn't the most flush one I've ever had from GEC. It's slightly sunken in the middle position, in the open positions, I should say. It's proud in the open position, which is normal for GEC, and it's completely flush in the closed position. So it's not the at most perfect back spring, but it's still very good. Centering, which can be something which isn't always perfect on GECs. On this particular one's perfect. I have had two others from, not in this cover material, but from this run of 14s. One was a gold autumn bone, and that was relatively substantially off. Not enough to bother me on a traditional knife, to be honest, but it wasn't going to rub or anything like that, but it was off. The other was a cobblestone jig. I can't remember who that was for. It was another SFO, but it was nice, and that one was perfectly centered. So I think overall the fit and finish in this run was very good. Pins are pretty neat and tidy. The main holding pin there, which is bearing a lot of the springs load, that's a slightly larger pin, and that could be slightly tidier, but it's not bad. Overall, I think it's beautifully made, particularly when you consider the retail price that these go for. It's just a shame there's not enough of them that the retail prices can stand and work well. So overall, I just love the 14. If I could, I would have like a whole little army of 14s that I carried. This one hasn't actually gained any patina. Haven't actually oiled this blade. Hasn't been used on any food prep. If you put 1095 into anything from an apple to other fruits like orange, or through a piece of meat or whatever else, they will take a patina very quickly. And actually, I think they look gorgeous when they've got a patina on them. But that's just a matter of taste. This just doesn't have one because it's not been used for that sort of thing, and it's been kept in a slip. It's not got wet or anything. I rarely have any problem with 1095, but obviously if you're in very corrosive conditions, 1095 is problematic. I think it's very appropriate on a GEC personally, so I always like it. But before I risk rambling on and on and on, just wanted to show you this lovely little 14. I don't think they get enough love. A lot of love goes to the 25 when it comes to the smaller knives from GEC, or the slightly larger but similarly proportioned 15. I think particularly, unless you've got massive hands, but even then, does it matter really? And this is a 3-finger grip very comfortably. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. And with this clip point blade, as opposed to the previous spear point that was on these, I think they're absolutely stunning. So there you go. That is the GEC number 14 pattern SFO for Mike Latham and Collector Knives and Slipjoint Collectors UK. Thanks very much, guys. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.